When it comes to handheld gaming consoles on a budget, you don't have a lot of choices to pick from. Under a tight budget, you'll only get retro handhelds that are capable of emulation, or cloud-based handhelds that can only stream games through platforms like Xbox Cloud Streaming. That only leaves one logical option: the Nintendo Switch Lite. This console is a cut-down and more affordable version of the original Switch. It takes away the docking functionality, meaning you can't hook it up to a TV. As such, this is a handheld-only console, and its weight and size reflect that. Despite this, it has the same performance as the regular Switch in handheld mode. Design-wise, the Lite has a more playful appearance. You can get it in 5 colors: blue, yellow, gray, turquoise, and coral. Regardless of which color you go for, you'll get white buttons and analog sticks. This adds a lot of contrast to the design and makes the device stand out. The screen is 5.5 inches, which is a respectable size for a compact handheld. In terms of ergonomics, this console is comfortable to play for long sessions. It weighs 275 grams and isn't cumbersome to hold. One big change here, compared to the standard Switch, is the addition of a proper D-pad. Even the Switch OLED doesn't have this feature, as it uses buttons that serve as a D-pad. That doesn't always work well, and a dedicated D-pad is objectively better. However, since the Joy-Cons can't be removed, the analog sticks are harder to repair or replace if you get stick drift. As for the performance, that's not something you'll need to worry about much. All games on this handheld will play at 720p, and you can expect either 30 FPS or 60 FPS, depending on the title. Some third-party games, such as Mortal Kombat 1, run terribly, but first-party titles such as Tears of the Kingdom run incredibly well. While the performance is acceptable across the board, there's no denying that Nintendo needs to step up their hardware game. The Switch Lite has a weak NVIDIA Tegra CPU, and while it's decent enough for playing games at 30 FPS or 60 FPS in 720p, it's far behind what other consoles are capable of. Then again, there's really no competition for Switch Lite. That's exactly why Nintendo is a bit complacent with their hardware. At around this price, you can get the Ain Odin Lite, an Android-based handheld that is more powerful. However, you're stuck with either Android games or emulation, as there's no dedicated game library, and that's where the Switch Lite shines. This console has been incredibly successful for Nintendo, and the game library is the main reason behind it. You can't play games like Animal Crossing, Mario, Zelda, Metroid, or Pokemon anywhere else, at least not without emulation. Battery life is another department where this handheld outshines its competition. Depending on the title, you can expect anywhere from 3 to 7 hours of battery life. If you're on a long flight, it's the perfect source of entertainment. All in all, the Switch Lite isn't perfect, but it doesn't need to be at this price. It's a cheap console that can play all your favorite Nintendo titles in a compact size, and that's all you'll need at this price. To sum up, what I like is the compact design, the great battery life, and the gigantic game library. On the downside, some games struggle with performance, and it's harder to repair than the standard Switch. Ratings: Game library, 9.5 out of 10. Performance, 7 out of 10. Screen, 7.5 out of 10. Battery life, 8.5 out of 10. Value, 9 out of 10. For an overall rating of 8.5 out of 10.